Hi, I'm Nancy Rathbun from Completely Quilted, and we are starting a new block of the month. This block of the month is called Cabin by the Lake. Cabin by the Lake is a great pattern by Royal Quilt Designs, and each month you are going to get another kit. Month 1 is the mountain blocks, so you'll make 8 of the same kind of block. So I'm going to show you how our kits look. You're going to get the pattern and all of the fabric you need for that month. So you can see that we've wrapped all of our fabrics up in a nice little package with labels. So we've labeled everything for you, so when you get your kit, you can see all of those colors and all of the fabrics cut with ample fabric cut and labeled for you for month 1. So you also get the patterns each month. You'll get the first month a color picture of the entire quilt. You'll also get your general directions and the instructions for block 1. And you're also going to get a key, and the key is for the entire quilt, and it has different labels that you'll use for all 10 months. So each kit is $20, so it's $20 a month for 10 months. So in our month 1 lesson, I'm going to teach you how to make half square triangles. So each month you're going to use some of the tips and tricks that I've showed you from the previous months, and you're going to build on what you're going to be learning. So I've already cut all of my squares and rectangles according to my pattern instructions. And so with making half square triangles, you'll need to take your squares. In this particular instance, I'm taking a medium and a dark, and I'm going to place those squares right sides together. So to create this into 2 half square triangle units that look like this here, I'm going to need to follow some steps. So the first step is marking your blocks. So your pattern has you mark a line from point to point, and I would choose to do that on the lighter side. I'm using my Frixon gel pen, and this is the new clicker type, so I don't have to have a lid. It just clicks and disengages and saves me from drying out that pen. So you can see I've got this nice marking from corner to corner. So in our pattern instructions, now it's going to have you sew 1/4 inch on either side of that line. But I've got another fun trick to show you about making half square triangles. Here's another unit that has a medium and a dark. And now I'm going to use my quick quarter ruler the way it was meant to be used instead of a straight edge. So the inside part of the quick curve ruler has these slots. That allows me to see the points underneath my ruler. So I'm going to just view the points underneath my ruler, and now I'm going to be marking 2 lines. They're not exactly from corner to corner. The corner to corner is in that viewing area of my ruler. So see the difference here between these 2 pieces? One line is drawn from corner to corner, and on the other I have 2 lines that are drawn. So the quick quarter ruler allows you to, instead of sewing 1/4 inch on either side of a marked line, I'm going to sew right on these 2 lines that I've marked. So I'm just going to take this over to my sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch right on the line. So, for instance, if you weren't able to trust your 1/4 inch seam, and maybe you're better at sewing on a marked line, the quick quarter tool would be really easy for you to use. So I've sewn on both of those lines. On that first step, the way the pattern instructions show, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be keeping the edge of my 1/4 inch foot right on that line. So I'll keep the very edge of my 1/4 inch foot on the marked line from corner to corner. I'll sew 1 line, and then I'll turn it around and keep the edge of my 1/4 inch foot on that center line again. So now I have 2 sewn lines. You can still see the marked line in the center. When I used the quick curve ruler, I didn't have a line marked in the center. So the next step to make these into half square triangles is cutting them apart. On the one that doesn't have a line in the center, I just line up the edge of my ruler from corner to corner, and cut in between those two seams that I sewed. So now I've got 2 half square triangles. And now I'll cut right on this center line that I marked. And again, I have 2 half square triangles. So now your pattern is going to tell you to press these half square triangles, and you press it to the dark side, which means any kind of seam you have is going to be pointing towards that dark side of the fabric. All the bulk of that seam to the dark. And I've just got a little iron over here, so I'll press these really quickly so you can see the different colors that you're going to be getting in your kit. You're going to have a dark fabric, you're going to have a medium fabric, you're going to have a fabric labeled medium light, and then you're also going to have a fabric labeled light. So it's a really nice pattern, and it's nice that we made all those labels so that you know which one is which. So now I have all of these pressed, and so now I need to square them up. I'm just using my Creative Grids. This is just a 6-inch ruler, and I like it because it has a line that goes from corner to corner. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be squaring these half square triangles up to 2.5 inches. So I'm going to keep that diagonal line on the diagonal line of my half square triangle block, and I'm going to line up the straight edges with my 2.5-inch line on the inside of my ruler, and I'm going to cut any excess fabric I have off the outside edge. I just turned that around so my cut edge is on the inside now, and I can still line that inside edge up with the 2.5-inch inside lines, and I might just have just a little shreds to take off of the other side. So there's my perfect squared up block. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to be making a series of different half square triangles for the entire quilt, and just a few in this month. You're also going to have some rectangle pieces. Here's what the finished block looks like. So you can see all those half square triangle units and the rectangles sewn together, first in rows and then into a square. So you'll make 8 that look just like this, according to your pattern instructions. I hope you enjoyed making half square triangle blocks. We hope that you're enjoying your log cabin block of the month.